football ended for me, and it's been, okay, what am I going to do? I'm so grateful for your wisdom that I get to just learn from, and genuinely, I cherish our friendship, man. We spend a lot of time working out, hanging out. You are the hardest working person I know. I'm genuinely, whether that's in the weight room or you're always doing business deals and you do it all yourself, man. Your story is incredible, and you have this kind of grace for other people, this compassion for other people that I see despite what you've been through.
You know, we have so many of these obstacles in life, and I knew a long time ago, when I say a long time ago, from my mother, my father, about the journey that I was going to take ahead. I didn't know what it looked like. I had no idea. You know how they say, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Mississippi. It wasn't like, you know, a fireman, a policeman, it was this or that or whatever. It was like, it wasn't a lot of options, right? And it wasn't the best place and the best times and the best situations, you know, growing up in the projects and you know, it was 8 of us, and it was me and my younger sister, but you know, we had love, we had respect, we had religion, we had each other, we had other people that were around us that were neighbors in the project that we called family. I mean, true family. And that was important, you know, because sometimes it's been diluted a lot, you know, this day and age. And not to put any salt on anybody, because demographically everybody grows up differently. Everybody has a different situation, different obstacles, different meanings. Even with me having PTSD and that person having PTSD, there's different circumstances. But the truth of the matter is that I could have been blown up, and that person could have just been, let's say, sexually assaulted. That's gonna out-trump mine, or whether he or she may feel like this is devastating to me, right? Or just say somebody in a work environment did the same thing and they have PTSD from that. That could be devastating to them. So you treat everything equally like the same, not because somebody had a situation that may be worse than yours, or say my situation was worse than yours. You don't know how to affect somebody internally. My skin is thick.
You came from nothing. You came from that background, then you went military, right? You had your military experience, then you moved on from that into, did you go straight into cooking, into chef, being a chef, man? I don't know.
Being a chef is, I'm doing a cookbook now. I did the chow line. I have
Which
a book,
is delicious, by the way.
I have a book that's coming out right now, you know, Call Me Chef, Damn It.
Yeah.
And I talk about my story, and I was the unlikely chef, you know, because it wasn't supposed to happen. None of the stuff of me even wearing this, I put this on, and because of the humility with it and because of the gratitude, it reminds me of where I came from. And it reminds me of my struggles, but it also reminds me of my success.
Right.
Also reminds me of my resilience, my intestinal fortitude, the honor, independence, and things that I do. And I want people to look at me first, organically, how they would see me. Not in my suit and tie and all these things, not with my degrees. I want you to look at me and think of what you're gonna think, because the truth of the matter is that everybody's gonna have an assumption. A first impression.
Dude, be on the football field, and I'd say like if some white linebacker was going to be covering me, I'd make an assumption on them that I better win this route.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it is.
People probably, defensive ends used to think that about me. If I'm a tight end blocking him, this dude, I better not let this dude block me.
Exactly, it's true.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But you've gone through stuff in your own life, like you said, PTSD and all these things.
And you know, I was just at the Arnold a month or so ago, and I mean, 2 days, and you know, the NFL was when we did Taste of NL was Arnold was 1,000 times more. I mean, I think I just took like thousands of pictures, and you know what I got from everyone is that thank you. I mean, I got so many people that just came up and just said thank you for being you, and they said thank you for not being a butt.
Yeah.
Right, being organic and stopping, because my first person that I take a picture with, the 1,000th person will be the exact same person.
Yeah.
And it never stops. There's no facade. There's no nothing. I mean, sometimes I'm hungry. Sometimes I'm weak. And sometimes I'm tired.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be there for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. And they'll be like, okay, chef needs a break. And I'm like, no. Let me get this. Let me get all them. Because you're changing someone's life. You know, we're role models.
Right.
You know, people say, I'm not a role model. I'm not this. I'm not that. Even for the people that are not the best on social media, the ones who are bringing the toxic type of drama to it and so forth.
Right.
They're role models. They know this, but they want to bring a different perspective to someone's life when they can be using all that stuff that they're doing for good stuff, but they choose not to be because money is about everything. Status quo, about numbers, about likes, about clicks, about this and about that.
Right.
You know, when in actuality, what you should just be yourself and, you know, think about what's going to be next. Think about who you can help and who you're not going to be helped, because the younger generation, they follow us. I mean, they follow us constantly. That's why I started my nonprofit. And that's why I did so much for so many young youths and whatnot, because I know that not only for my kids, but also give them an example to do something, to give their friends an example to do something more.
I don't think people understand about you that when you say you do 2,222 push-ups every day, you actually do. People say, oh, that's impossible, or he must be on this, or he must be that. No way. Like, that blows my mind, because being, you know, within this proximity of you and seeing you do it day in and day out, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, what he says is true. It's not a front. It's not a...
And you know, I'm to the point where now I don't even care, right? Because if I did one push-up, I can say, hey, I do one push-up a day. And like, why you do one? And they're like, you do more push-ups. You can do more push-ups. Why you only do one push-up? I'm still gonna get slapped about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really doesn't matter. My push-ups that I do is for a therapy. It's not a dog and pony show. But you rather doubt. I don't know what doubt is. I can't has never been in my vocabulary. It's look at the options.
Right.
What's next? How can we?
Right.
You know, I'm tired of people saying today that you can't do something. You can't do something. I came from Mississippi at a very low point. You know, I've done a lot of things. I talk about a lot of things. And I talk about a lot of things that make people uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, I talk about racism. I talk about toxic leadership. I talk about overpowering and whatever. If you can relate, that's great.
Yeah.
If you can't relate, it's because you don't want to relate.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
that's a lie to say that you don't know anything about this or that or whatever. Or you may be part of that, this or that or whatever, because you're the one that's causing that drama.
But you take everything head on. Like, you're so open, whether it's racism, whether it's the leadership, whether it's PTSD or what you've gone through, right? That vulnerability opens up to where I feel like I could tell you anything. It's like therapy every time we're working out together.
It is therapy, actually.
It's like physical therapy.
You know, the funny part is that you said it being vulnerable, you know, and not even vulnerable, I'll use the word is, because that is the word, but it's just being sincere and open about what's happened to you in your life. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a point in time where I felt like I can do anything and nothing's gonna stop me and all this is not gonna affect me until it affected me.
Yeah.
And then it became a big thing, you know. You know, I told you about being an inpatient for 6 months, another 6 months inpatient, then a year for an outpatient. I had no relief. And I was resistant. I was resistant.
That's just constant
you know,
pain, though, man.
and but that was also with them. What I found out it was a lot of medication. I was being medicated to death. Dude. And that's a caveat that is done. You know, it's done to kind of subdue you a little bit, make it seem like you control the narrative, in which all you did was put a pause on it.
Right. We've had this conversation where I've got cortisone shots in the knee, and then you just put it, you know, piece it back together so you can go play. But you spent 2 years in excruciating pain and half numb because, you know, you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And how did you come out of that? Like, how did you?
I'm still not out of it.
Well,
it's still relevant.
Yeah.
It's still with me every day when I wake up. In that morning, I meditate and I roll over and do those push-ups. I use the quote-unquote battle. Not a battle with someone else, a battle with myself. It's always you against you.
It is,
and
man.
People don't realize that you're not battling anybody else.
Yeah.
You're battling yourself. You control your narrative. Somebody can try to get inside of it, and then you lose it, and they control it for you. And then that's when everything goes to hell.
You've gone through like 7 different lives. You've had like a Forrest Gump life where you've done all these different things.
They put out a little teaser in my book, and somebody read my book, and they said, wow, you know, he's lived 100 lives. If all this has happened to him, it's pretty far-fetched, but if it has, that's amazing. I don't question you, nor do I tend to question you or want to question you about your life and what happened in it, because some of those things are going to be personal and intimate to you. I was attacked when my mom passed away. I was attacked when my dad passed away. And then you have to deal with things in a situation like that. My nephew was killed. I was attacked. You know, and you got to think about it and stop for a second. And we talk about life and the journeys of it. Is like you're on your journey right now, which is what I love about you, because first off and sincerely is that you are a genuine human being. I mean way above and beyond what I know. I'm not trying to just say this to you right now. I'm saying to you because you're going to change the world, you know? I mean, and I know this for a fact, and that's why I'm here sitting here with you, because I want to be part of that journey, you know, reflection of it. And I'll say to you is that you don't change. You know, one of the things people say to me all the time is, even from back in school, people say, he hasn't changed. Don't lead by emotions. You know, emotions will stop you in your tracks.
Right.
Don't take things personal. Make your own, be your own, and just do what you do.
I mean, you have done that. One thing that I learned playing football was like, I'm going to find someone who I want to emulate, and I'm going to get as close to them as I can, just follow them around, you know, so I can learn from them. And I mean, that's you for me, because I watch you at these events, and people just want to come up to you. There are all kinds of like active current players and big names and people like that, but people want to come up to you and say something, you know. So watching you on this trajectory that's just going like this.
I'm here because of you. And the conversations that we've had, you know, over this time that we've hung out and we text each other and just, you know, hey brother, you know, isn't that? I'll feed off of this. You know, I'm an energy guy, and I told you that. I know that you are, because you remind me of me, right? Everything you do. I mean, seriously, because when I was way above my age at a very young age, and I knew that. I did what I wanted to do. I didn't go to clubs. I was introverted, and I didn't know how to fit in.
One of the first times we met, you gave me this. You gave me this. I got it upside down. There we go. Motivate, inspiring the world, mental health, fitness first, 2,222 push-ups a day, combat vet, celebrity chef.
In the top, in the front, most important part.
Look at that. You can do anything.
Never give up. Keep going.
Keep going. This meant a lot to me. It really is special to me, and I know you hand these out to just about anyone who can do 2,222 push-ups. But for me, you gave me a pass, and I only had to do one.
You had to do
I
one.
still owe you one.
You still owe me one.
But seriously, Chef, I want to thank you for this and for what you bring to my life. The whole point of this conversation is it's just a small glimpse of some of the conversations that you and I get to have on a fairly regular basis. You don't even know the impact that you've had on my life.
Bro, thank you. You have no idea. The best part about this whole conversation and about tomorrow is that you're my friend.
Yeah.
And we're starting together. In the meantime, it's still always us.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, baby.
Oh, man. Come here.
Yeah.